So last session we discussed about all browser objects, how to work and built-in objects. After understanding the browser and built-in objects, now next important we need to understand about JavaScript browser events. We need to know about JavaScript browser events. Already the option is here. What we learned is few events already we discussed in different occasions, different types of events we already used. So today we will see detail about what are those events and how to work with them. Actually, first point, what is event, how we define event. Event is a message sent by sender to its subscriber in order to notify change. So event is a message sent by sender to its subscriber in order to notify change. That is the definition of event. What does that means? We will see. Actually, when you used events, I'll show you one simple example. Already we are working with so we are writing some function here, some insert click, and in this function some functionality is defined, and generally we have a button on click. We are using insert click. That's what we are defining. Now generally by seeing this code, what everyone understands is there is a function called insert click, and when that function is called, when you click the button, so that means when we click the button, the function insert click is called. No, the actual concept is we are not calling the function, we are pointing towards the function. That means when you click on click, insert click, it is going to point towards that function. It is going to point towards the function. It is not calling the function, it is pointing towards the function. That is what actually event is, pointing towards the function. So generally, we will see one point here so that you can understand. Suppose in this example, I am having a simple page. We have a button, and on click, we are writing insert click. Is there any function called insert click? We don't have any function called insert click. Then it should show error. You see, that means if you are calling a function which is not available, then obviously it should show error. So here we will give the button text as insert, and you can see, let's go to inspect, and we will go to console. In the console, you see there is no error. So if we are calling a function, then that must be an error, because there is no function insert click and you are trying to use. We are not calling the function. So we are not calling the function. We are pointing towards the function. That means when you click this button, Now it will try to point towards the function and it is unable to find. Now it will show error. That means if it is calling function immediately at the time of loading the page, it should show error. But it is not calling the function. So what it is doing, it is pointing towards the function. So what is event? Actually, event is a message sent by, this is called, we call this as sender. This is called sender. This is called sender. And this is called subscriber. Subscriber. Sender sends a notification to subscriber and subscriber will do the functionality. That means subscriber is nothing but subscriber generally defines actions to perform. What actions to perform? It is defined by subscriber. Subscriber will define actions to perform. Sender specifies when to perform. When to perform is defined by sender. So what sender will do? Sender will send a notification to the subscriber saying that button click happened. Now you can do this work. So it is not calling function, it is pointing towards the function. That is why we call event uses delegate mechanism. Delegate mechanism. Delegate mechanism means it means function pointer. Function pointer mechanism. Delegate means function pointer. Function pointer means not calling the function, it is pointing towards the function. And event follows a software design pattern. It follows a software design pattern called observer. We call this pattern as observer. Observer is a communication pattern. Communication pattern. That means that specifies how an object communicates with its function. So these two words are very important for experience level answers. If you are showing lot of experience in web development and design, then in interviews they may ask which pattern event follows. So event follows a pattern called what? Observer. What is observer pattern? Observer is a communication pattern. What this pattern will do? It specifies how sender can send a notification to subscriber. Who is sender? Sender is object. Who is subscriber? Subscriber is the function. What functionality to perform? That is defined by subscriber. When to perform? That is defined by sender. So event technically is so much having in the background. We just used events without knowing all this. On click, on change, like that events we used. But technically we should know how it actually works. And here, so syntactically I will show you this diagram. I will upload just to make you understand. Event related one document I will upload. Event related one document I will upload. So there you will get all the events examples also. Right. Now, generally in this approach, this is called, you see this part. In this part, generally this is called, we call this as event handler. Event handler. And on click is called, this only on click is called event. On click, what functionality it is going to perform? That is event handler. That means you have two parts in the syntax actually. So suppose we have a button, on click is equal to insert click. here on click is event. So that means that is the event, and on click, which one to handle? Insert click. So this is, so we call this as, this is event handler. So we have event and event handler, and actually this is a button, right? So this button is what we call sender. Understood? It is called sender. Now on that we have a function called insert click. Insert click, and it will do some functionality. This is called as subscriber. So sender sends a notification to the subscriber, and subscriber will do the functionality. That is the basic point. So this is actually on click is event, on click, insert click have to work. That is called event handler. And we are writing a subscriber here function. What is it? Insert click. Now it will do some functionality. Here, one more important is, every event handler have two default arguments. Every event handler have two default arguments. By default, two arguments are available for every event handler. One is this, another one is event. Two default arguments are there, event and this. That means actually when you define syntactically, you define, so button, on click, we have insert click. Into that insert click, we can pass two arguments, this and event. So you can pass only one, you can pass both, or you can pass without arguments. Two default arguments will be there. Their names exactly those, this and event. Now what is purpose of these default arguments? Default arguments purpose is actually, this is used to send information about current object. This is used to send information about current object. That means this can send information about current object. Who is current object? Button. Button object related information you can send to function by using this. Button related details means what? Button related details means button ID, button name, button class. So button value, button have some other properties like width, like height, all these details of button. Object related information we can send by using this. And event is used to send information about current event. What is current event? Current event is on click. Na? It will send information about that event. What may be the information about event? Event means on click. Information about event. What will be information about event? Actually, information about event means on click. Okay. When you click, so where you click, which button you use it to click, right? That means it is not just on click. When you are using on click, we can even identify where they click. That means x axis position where, y axis position where. For example, you see, you have seen what is best example in Bootstrap. You have seen model. In Bootstrap model, a pop-up will come. To close the pop-up, you might have seen click outside pop-up. It will close automatically. Backdrop. Understood? Without close button. Now the question is how it knows you click outside. That means you click on the button, right? That means we already have so many now. Let's see where we used. Everywhere so many examples we used. Shopping we used. Yeah, you see here in this, a model will come, pop-up will come. See, I have to click outside this box, then it will close. You see, click outside the box, click inside, nothing is there. Click outside the box, it is closing. That means how it knows that I haven't clicked inside, I clicked outside. That means click is not just click, it can even know where you clicked, at which position you clicked, X position, Y position. So that means every event have a lot of attributes. Event also have a lot of attributes. So many attributes will be there. So the most important attributes, like we have client X, we have like client Y, we have like key code, we have like char code, we have like shift key, we have like control key. So many will be there. So many, just I given some option, etc. So many. Actually, you see, suppose in Visual Studio, I given a website address. Am I right? I typed some URL. You observe here, when I move the mouse onto it, it will show a tip, control click to open the link. That means it says that generally this is a link. But if you click it, normally when you click, nothing will happen. But when you click with control key, I can open it and show you. That means how it knows you used a control key or not. That means while clicking, it can verify which keys you are using along with click. Are you using shift key? Are you using control key? If I put control key and click on this, then it can open in a separate window and it can show that here. It can open and it can display. That means all these days we may be thinking like click means only click, but click have a lot of things. At which position you clicked, so with which key you clicked, all these matters, because for all we have to handle interactions. So technically this is important. So object related properties you can send by using whom? This. Event related properties we can send by using event. They are not necessary every time, but at various locations then we need them. For example, I will show you. See, suppose means the best purpose I will tell you. Suppose, see, we have one option here. That means here we are using one option. Like, like we have a button. This is insert. This is update. And this is delete. So we have three buttons. Suppose you are using pagination. So generally for pagination, we have options like next, previous, first, last, like that. Now, how many functions we need to write for these three buttons? On insert, it should do different work. On delete, it should do different work. Then how many functions we need to write? three functions, but we can write only one function and manage all three. So how? So we will write a function called database. So this database function should be used by all three. That means we will say on click, on click. Yeah, on click. This is database. All of them on click database, on click database. Now all are using same function, then all will do same work. All will do same work. So, but important here is, here we will put a some paragraph align. So we will keep center. Okay. Now the point here is, when user clicks this button, we can make that database function to know that they clicked insert button. How? Actually, for every button, we will put some ID, or we will put some name, or we will put some value. Suppose this button ID is BTN insert. For this button ID is BTN update. And this is ID is BTN delete. Now, when user clicks database, we can send this ID. We can send this ID to the database function. That means here we can put this. But actually this is going to send all details about button. All details means ID, name, class, value, everything. It will send everything. But currently we have only ID. If it is having multiple like ID, name, class, so many are there, we can access all of them by using this. We can access all of them by using this. For example, let's do one more work here. So I will put a class BTN. So primary. So here we will put a class BTN. So BTN, suppose danger. This is like warning. And another class BTN danger. Currently, we don't have any styles, bootstrap, link, relation, style sheet, and href is node modules, bootstrap, dist, css, bootstrap.css. Okay. And I'm just giving here class container fluid. Okay. Fine. We have these options defined. Now you can see here, this can send all details of button. How to collect them? There must be one parameter to collect the details. You know, formal parameters, actual parameters. Formal parameter can be any name. You can give any name. I will give as OBJ. OBJ contains object related information. Okay. Now through that OBJ, let's do document.write. I will try to print two details. One is ID. How to get the ID? obj.id. Okay. Next, I will try to get the class. Means what class they used, we will get that. How do we get the class? obj.class name. Class name is property. Statically it is class. In HTML it is class. In JavaScript you cannot use the word class. We have to use class name. To access the classes we have to use class name. Now see here. Now when I selected this, you see these three buttons are there. Now observe, actually I am writing document.write. I will use like anywhere you can display. Let's keep that first. I click on update. It will say update and its warning. I click on delete. It says BTN danger and delete. That means the function is working for all three buttons. but all three buttons have different things to be written. Now, based on this concept, let's implement the functionality. That means now, how do we implement the functionalities? So center. Yeah. Now see here, what we will do is, we can do one more work here. Instead of sending all details, we can send only ID. Then we can use this dot ID. Understood? So that means that is an object. Object contains ID, name, class name, and all. If you want, you can send any particular detail, or you can send all detail. If you are sending all detail, then here we have to collect. We will use a simple switch case. Into the switch, we will pass obj.id. That means the button IDs are passed into it. Now we will write case. What is it? First ID, what we are expecting? btn insert. If it is insert, then we will access that paragraph also, where so p is equal to document query selector. What is it? Paragraph. Now here we will put p dot inner html is equal to record inserted. This message we will give. Then break. If case is btn what? Delete. Then p dot inner html is equal to record deleted. And we have one more break. And we have case btn update. Then p dot inner html is equal to record updated. These are options defined. Now only one function is working for all the three. When I click on update, it says record updated, delete, and insert. So all three are working with a single function. So instead of declaring separate functions, we can define one function which can handle all three. But how that knows about correct objects? I just used a button. You can send information about any object you are using, right? Suppose if it is a drop down, it can send drop down related properties, right? So this is one point. So this is used to send information about the current object. So this is one example for that. Let's do one thing. It will send information about event also. How we send information about event? I will remove this all. I will just keep a button. So button have some ID. Okay. btn insert. Button have some class, btn and btn primary. And button have some event on click. On click is database. And I will give the word here insert. Okay, now here we will do one thing. When user clicks this button, I will delete all this. We will send both object related details and event related details. Object related details are sent by using this. Event related event. There is no order. Anywhere, anyone you can send. You can send only event. You can send only object. You can send event and object. You can write first event after this, because the keywords are important. Where you write is not important. Now here two references are required. One for object, another for event. I will use E for event arguments. So here what we will do now, document dot query selector, document dot query selector. Here we will put that paragraph dot inner HTML. In this, let's try to print all details about that object and event. Suppose button have ID. So we will access here obj.id. Okay, next line, class. Class is what? obj.class name. Okay, that's it. Next, event related information. That means X position. X position I am giving here E. Through event we can access client X. It will get X axis position. So I want to get X axis position client X, Y axis position client Y. Here I will do one more. Control key used or not, we will verify. How to do that? E dot CTRL key. Control key used or not, CTRL key I am using like that. Okay, now see here, I will refresh and let's click on insert. Suppose I click on insert at the beginning here. At the beginning I am insert. Then you can see it details will come. ID is BTN insert, class is BTN primary, X position 13, control key not used. Again I click towards the end right side corner, then it says X position 76. I will do one thing, I will put control key, press control key and click here, and it says control is true. You used clicked 48, you used control key. For example, see here, this kind of technique, suppose we have image source is equal to some public images, some image, suppose some AD1. So width is 50, height also 50. Now you can see there is a small image. Now very important, just below that I put a paragraph. I will put some heading. So just put a heading and display that control plus click to open. That means use control plus click to open that, right? On that picture, if they click control plus click, it should open. Currently I am clicking, nothing is happening. So we will write here for image on click. On click, what we will do, suppose open image. Okay, how do we know whether they used a control key or not? So then we will put event, and we will collect here function. What is it? Open image. Into that we have to collect event argument. We will use here if E dot CTRL key. That means if they used control key, if it is used control key, then window dot open. Window dot open, we will open. So public images add one dot JPG. Here I will keep a title, so ads, and here I will keep width is some 300, height is 300, like this we define. Otherwise we will put an alert saying that please use control plus click. Now see what happens. I just clicked on it. It says please use control plus click. Now I am using control key and clicking on this. Then it should open in a separate window. Right? That means we can handle by using control click. How do we open? How do we configure that we can control by using this technique? Usually these are all event related arguments. Just rough example. Later you can present anywhere. Just this is another example. So what is the basic? Every event can have two arguments, default arguments. Default arguments they are. What are default arguments? The send event. What is purpose of this? Send information about object. Event will send information about event, right? Now important another point is every event can also have custom arguments. Custom arguments of any type, and of any number. That means You can also pass your own arguments, whatever you want. Any type means string, number, boolean, null, undefined, array, object, anything. That means it's not like you have to pass only this or you have to pass only event. You can send any argument, your own arguments. That means what you can do syntactically, we have a button and we have on click is equal to insert click, and insert click. Here we can send a number. Here we can send a string. Here we can send a boolean. Here we can send an object. We can send an array. We can send anything. We can send anything. And we can collect and use them. Any type of argument, any number of arguments you can pass. You can pass. That is what advantage. Custom arguments. That means, for example, now we will see a simple one. Like, suppose there is a button. Send details. Okay. Here we have on click. On click send is a method. In that we are first passing the value 101. After that some TV. After that true. And after that some object have rate. So rate as some 4.3 and it have count as some 5,000. Now you can see, now you can write a script and you can call a function send, and in this send we are expecting so many details. Now we learned one more technique. Can we collect all these details with one argument? Yes. What is it? Rest parameter dot and I will give args. Any name you can give. All the arguments are collected here. Now we can simply print those details. That means actually args 0, it is having ID. That means you can put simple variable. We can put ID, name, stock, and rating is equal to, what is it? Args. Now we can print the details. Document dot write. So we are printing the details here. So ID is equal to, what is it? ID. In the next line, name is equal to, so name. In the next line, some stock is equal to stock. And in the next line, suppose rating is equal to, so we have defined rating dot rate. And we have another rating dot count like this. Now you can see when I click send details, all the details are sent. That means event can have custom arguments. You can pass any number of arguments. You can pass any type of arguments. So event arguments are very important. Actually, already we done this when we designed shopping. When we designed shopping, what we done, when user clicks add to cart button, what will happen when user sends add to cart button? That product information is sent to the method. Already we done that in shopping. In shopping, where is add to cart button? This is button add click. On add click we see we are sending product ID. Am I right? On add click we are sending product ID. Now what add click will do? Add click, where is add click? It have to collect the ID and get the information about that ID and store in cart items. Already we are doing that. So, but correctly you should know that event argument can be any type. You can send any kind of information along with object and event. Along with object and event. That means along with this, you can even send this, you can use event. Along with these you can send, right? So but be careful if you are using rest parameter, because rest parameter must be last parameter na? Then otherwise problem will come. So first collect these two, after that collect, or create separate parameters, but having lot of parameters is a problem. So only one rest parameter allows to access all, right? So this is a simple example actually for how custom parameters are used. That means we can send our own arguments, right? Event have lot of these things to understand. So what is event, what is event handler, what are event arguments? So the basic summary here. So three what basic things: what is event, second what is event handler, that is important, and third one is what are event args, arguments, event arguments. These three are very important. So those we've discussed already: event, event handler, and event arguments, right? So now next important actually, for example, if we are using button, for button, what is the event used? So events are not related to any object. Events are not related to any object. That means on click you can use for image also, we use it. On click we can use for div span. It is not necessary that button on click, we on button mouse over we can apply effects, on button double click we can apply effects. That means remember, events are not related to elements. So JavaScript, so all JavaScript events are related to browser object, BOM model, related to browser object model. That means all JavaScript events are related to browser. They are not related to elements. That means we use for elements. So it is not that click is for button. Click belongs to button. No, click doesn't belong to button. Click belong to window. Browser model means what? Which is the parent object? Window na? Window is parent. Under window, history, navigator, location, all these will be there. So all these events are related to window object. They are related to window object. Let's try one logic and see. What I'm doing here is I'm writing a simple logic here. Script, you see, I'm writing for where property of window object. Window is a ready-made object. This already we know. For example, if anybody asks like what properties you learned for navigator, then you will tell yesterday what we discussed: app name, app version, cookie enabled, plugins. Are those only the properties navigator having? No. Every object have hundreds of properties. If you have to learn everything developed by JavaScript, it will take 1 year for JavaScript. It's not possible. Any technology not possible. If anybody says I am learning Java or .NET, what do you think? They are learning everything developed by Java? No. Java have developed million of classes. They will learn 40, 30, 40, 50 classes of Java. That's it. Then what do you think? That is why actually, if anybody says I am a .NET developer or a Java developer or any technology developer, suppose he worked on the technology for 20 years. 20 years he worked on a technology. He's genius in that. He worked on several projects. Now he is changing company. In a new company, he is going. Then they have to conduct interview. Now imagine what questions I can ask to a 20 years experienced person. What do you think? He will answer everything? No, we have questions for him also. That means we 20 years experience also have to go through interview. Na? That means we have questions for him also that he don't know. That means software development, software applications are very huge. That means millions of internal features will be there, which you can't learn everything. It's impossible. Not you can't even think about it. Then what you are learning in any course or anywhere, what is used in regular projects that you are learning, means in regular projects what they use in the technology that you are learning. That is the reason sometimes after learning our course you go to some projects. That means 1-2 years you worked. After that, fourth year you are appointed on a special project. In that project they are using some special functionality, and that you haven't learned. And that is not regularly used, very rarely used. You haven't learned. Now you are already aware of technology. Now what you have to do, you have to explore by yourself about that concept, and you need to learn about that yourself, and you need to implement. That means nobody will be there to teach you, because nobody knows it till that moment, but later they want it, then they have to explore by themselves. That is very basic in software development. That means after learning even, so suppose we have old batch people, 10 years back he done JavaScript from us or some other technology. Even today they will ping us in email saying that, sir, currently I am working on this project, this problem came, this functionality they asked, is there any possibility to do in JavaScript? And remember, he already worked on JavaScript 10 years. Understood? That means now suddenly in one project, one special option he have to use, and he don't know whether it is possible or not. Then he have to explore the technology in depth, everything he need to search, know about it, and implement. If we have that documentation, then we send them saying that, okay, this is the link, you go through here, that information is available, right? That means sometimes searching by yourself, remember, even Google search is depending on how much expert you are in searching. That means how you search and how other people search differs. Results what you get and results what other people get are different. Depending on what keywords you are using, you should know how to correctly search the content. That is the reason, even you know Google, you can't get what exactly you are looking for immediately. So experts can get. Some sites you will see, you will never see. Those sites experts can get, because they have some searching query terms different, right? Technically, every object in JavaScript is having hundreds of properties. We can't learn everything. How to know what properties it is having? This technique you can do. Document.write, what to print, property, I will put a break. Okay. Now what we are doing, we are writing a logic to print all the properties of which object? Window object, right? Let's run this and see. Now when I run this, you can see it is going to get all the details of that object. So what is it? Property in, because properties are accessed by using in operator. Now you see all. These are all window related objects, window related. And observe carefully how many properties are there. These are all window related. These all window related. So window have lot of attributes. Lot of attributes. Now, if you start learning about every point by point, I already told you now one occasion. We have like MS Excel. MS Excel is a software. Excel is a software used for designing spreadsheets, tables, and all. I told you how many days it will take to learn Excel. 4 years Excel diploma is there. Do you know? 4 years Excel diploma is there. Excel DBA specializations will be there. 4 years Excel specialization diploma. Right? Financial people learn that type of courses. That means 4 years. What is there to learn about Excel? It is so much, too much financial concepts will be there inside it. So then what generally other people know in Excel? Creating table, printing table, sorting, filtering, such simple actions. Excel have bank calculations, Excel have business calculations, Excel have accounting formulas. You know, lot of formulas are there, you know, right? We learned EMI calculator, na? We used EMI calculator in Excel. So is equal to, we have PMT, payment made each term. It's a formula ready made. Now in this formula, interest rate, so 10.34, number of periods 24, present value, so that means future value. Future value is how much? Suppose future value means suppose 5 lakhs or something like this. Right now, when you define all these details, it will get the payment made each term and all this. This is just only formula, not completed. This is incomplete. Just I am showing you the options. So present value is how much? Present value is suppose 1,000. And the future value is how much? Suppose some 50,000. It will get the installment made every term. These are all formulas, implementations, so much will be there. Now, do you know they will provide pivot tables? Heard about them? Pivot tables. That means you create for 1 year, for 10 years it will generate. These are very high level business calculations, everything used in these kind of softwares. So every software you are learning means you are learning only what is necessary for real world development in major implementations. Some you may miss in learning, then those you have to explore by yourself. You can't complain that my trainer haven't taught me this. Right? Why? Because majority you learned. Some rare things which you don't need regularly, that you need to use in a project, that you have to explore by yourself. For that, I already told you now where to get official information about MDN and HTML, what WG. HTML related, what WG, and JavaScript, CSS related, MDN. MDN also have HTML related help. That means all information you will get from there. So you have seen here, these on click, on change, all belongs to, you see, all belongs to window object. That means all these events are related to which object? So events are related to which object? That means all JavaScript events are related to browser object. So the events are classified, into various groups, like we have mouse events on mouse over. First I will give the list. We have like mouse events, we have like keyboard events, so we have like button events. So mouse events, keyboard events, button events, So we have clipboard events, clipboard events. We have like touch events, touch events. We have like timer events, timer events. So we have element state events. Element state events means I will tell you on blur, on focus. We already saw some of them. So we have miscellaneous events, miscellaneous events. All these are the categories. Under every category, lot of events are there. Lot of events are there. Actually, one more important, I will give form events also there. We have form events. So these are all so many events. So technically, events are classified into various groups. We will see these groups. One example I will give, others you can try. I will give you some document examples. We can see them. You can try them. So what are mouse events? Mouse events are simple. Actually, mouse events we have on, mouse over, we have on, mouse out, we have on, mouse down, we have on, mouse up, mouse up, and we have like on, mouse move. These are all mouse related events. Means what actions to perform on mouse over, mouse out, like that. For example, you see here, suppose I'm configuring. So a simple image here. Image source is public images. So A1.jpg, width 200, height 200. This is actually advertisement one. So one advertisement is here. So now in this, what happens is when I move the mouse onto it, advertisement should change. That ad should change. That means generally, so here we will write event like on mouse over, on mouse over. So show add one, add two, then on mouse out. So show add one, like this. Now this is ID as add. Okay. Now we need to write two functions here. Script. What is that function? So show add one on that document dot get element by ID. What is that element? Add dot src is equal to, we have to put, so public slash images slash add one dot jpg, like this. Now the same we have to handle on add two. Copy show add two, then we will put add two dot jpg. Now it's simple. When mouse over, add one, add two will come here. So what is it? So show add one, show add two, mouse over, mouse out. Where is that? Images add two, one is having a problem, huh? Right? Is that JPG file? Now some PNG file is there. Let's see. What are the images we are having? A1.jpg, A2.jpg. Okay. A1.jpg, A1, not AD. Huh? Right. A1.jpg I will give. And here what it is? A2. A2.jpg. Default also what we will do? A1.jpg. Now you can see image will be changing. On mouse over, image changes, and again we can put related information also. That means it's not like changing image. That means what we have to do is suppose, so what is first one? Add one, Add one is suppose we have some paragraph here. Now what we do, add one. So document dot query selector paragraph dot inner HTML. A1 is related to what? So car cleaning cloth, like this, right? So, and here we will copy the same. So here we have to define some car washing accessories, like this I am defining. Now what will happen on mouse over car washing accessories cleaning cloth? The title will be changing when you move the mouse onto it, right? That means it is changing when you move the mouse onto it. We can apply colors, effects, styles, anything. We are changing the image and we are changing the title on mouse over. We can also use the same on mouse down, mouse up. Mouse down means what? Hold down the button. Up means release. So until you hold down, that means, for example, we are giving one more option here. I will keep another image source. So we have public images. Suppose Amazon banner.jpg, width 200 and height 200. That is Amazon banner is there. Now what happens here is when I hold down, then it should show some content behind or some other image. Then simple, what we do, we have to just use mouse down. What we have to use on mouse down. On mouse down, suppose we are displaying change banner. Okay. On mouse down, we are using change banner. So you can use any another banner to display. Suppose E1 is there. I will put that E1 dot JPG. So that means we have a function. What is it? Change banner. And document, here we have ID as banner. So document dot, so get element by ID. What is it? Banner. Banner dot src is equal to public images slash e1 dot jpg. Like this we define. Now when I hold down the mouse button, it will change the banner. Now when I release, it should again set to normal. Then again, same, what we have to do, another function, reset banner. What this have to do, collect that, and it have to display another image. What is that image? Amazon banner. So Amazon banner dot jpg, banner dot jpg, and it should happen on mouse up, on mouse up. So we have reset banner, like this. That means one is changing on mouse over, another one is changing on hold down. When you release the button, it will be normal. When you hold down, it will change. When you release, it will be normal. So depending on mouse interactions, we can do hold down or mouse up. All these actions we can do. We have another option, mouse move. When mouse is moving, we can do some interactions. When mouse is moving, for example, see, in my computer, I have some images. So let's take some images. One image I will take here. Images. I have a image called flag. I will copy that flag image into our project folder. Shopping, which one ours is? Reveal in Explorer, in the shopping images. I copied an image called flag. It is a GIF file actually. Now see here what we are doing. So first I will copy this code for just a rough example of this. Okay, now see here, I'm using another simple logic. In the body section, we are defining all this, we will remove. Okay, on body section, here we are defining a div. For this we will put a style height as some 1000 pixel. Below that we will keep an image source, so public images flag gif, width is 50, height also 50. Now what is this technique is nothing but when you open the page, the div is there and div height is so much lengthy that after the div picture will come in. So you cannot see the picture immediately when you open the page. See, scroll down, the picture is at the bottom. Picture is at the bottom left side. So it is scrolling. This is GIF image, right? Now what we will do is, it is somewhere bottom. Now what we will do, on body load, on load, body load. When body loads, let's write a function, body load. Now when body loads, I want to get the position where mouse is present. How to get the position where mouse is present? We can send event argument here. What is the event argument? Event. We can collect E. Now we can get here the mouse position, X and Y position. See what I'm doing now. I'm accessing document dot query selector, query select, or first we will put var pick is equal to, we will put an ID for this, ID as flag. Okay, where flag is equal to, so document dot get element by ID, get element by ID, what is it? Flag. Now see what I am doing for flag. For flag I am applying style. Style position, position is absolute, position is absolute, or I will give position fixed. You know the position fixed means what? It is removed from the place and it is kept at standard position. What is that position? You have to tell left top, because if you set position fixed, then we have to use flag dot style dot left. Left should be where mouse is there, where mouse is there. Left should be exactly where mouse is there. How to get mouse left position? Left position means E dot client X. X is left and right positions. Top and bottom positions Y. So X, but it is number. Left needs pixel na? Dot px, because this is just a number 200, 300. But styles will not use just number 200 px, 300 px. Pixels are compulsory. Okay, next flag dot style dot top. Top position must be E dot what? Client Y position pixels. That means when mouse here on load we are doing na? Now we will not do on load. We will write on mouse move. That means when mouse is moving, let's change reasonably. So move event we will give. So here also we will give the event name as move. So when mouse is moving, every time when it is moving, the new position will come and apply to image. So that means we are collecting mouse position and applying to image. That means now see here, it will move along with mouse. That means it is moving along with the mouse. That means actually image is present somewhere bottom. But what we have done, we set the position with mouse. When mouse is moving, the image is moving. Image is moving. This is the mouse move. See, JavaScript related such logics are used to build very huge, complicated games also. Online, you see games, na? Online, you play games. Those are Flash and JavaScript games. Generally, at high level, more people use Java, JavaScript, and Flash. These are the softwares used for designing games. Online games are designed by using such things. That means these kind of graphics, animations on websites, all done with JavaScript. That means these all requires a lot of coding, a lot of event handling. Some tricks you need to understand, then you can easily achieve them. Here you can put anything. I just kept a picture. Sometimes people ask, can I put a text there? You can put text there. Can I put an offer button? Like, you can put an offer button, like anything you can define there, right? So this is nothing but a simple example of how do we handle the event. What is the event? Mouse move event. This is example for mouse move. How do we handle the move, right? These are all related to what? These are all related to mouse. Similarly, we have another important is, so I will give you one simple another option to understand, right? See, for example, suppose we will do one more thing to understand here. Suppose we are giving a div, okay, and in this div, let's put Bootstrap is there. No, let's link Bootstrap.